I had a wonderful client one time named A.J. Foyt, who was, held most of the automobile race records in those days, Indianapolis 500. He had a son he was trying to make a trainer out of, and he made a trainer out of him, but he didn't like it, so he quit and went back to the farm where he wanted to be. But A.J. would come down from Indianapolis during the week to help and get in everybody's way is what he was doing before he went back to Indianapolis for the weekend when they have all the time trials. He was always around the barn, a nice man, do anything for you. He was working on a truck one day, and I asked him, I said, what's wrong with it? He told me, I didn't understand. I said, what's usually wrong? He says, usually it's a battery. Of course, he was selling die-hard batteries at the time, so I don't know if that influenced him, but he was there one day when we were operating on one of his horses, and it was a splint bone, I think, or something like that. He came into the operating room, which we used to try to keep them all out of, but it was impossible. They're too curious. So he'd come in and just stand right over your shoulder watching what was going on. We finally got to where we were just sewing them up. I said, there's a whole lot of similarities between what I'm doing and what you're doing, as far as keeping them going. And, oh, yeah, he said, he understood where I was coming from. And I said, but there's one big, big difference between my patient and your patient. He said, oh yeah, he said, what's that? I said, we don't have any spare parts. He went out to visit Warner one day and they got to talking about Indy, which everybody wanted to talk to him about it. He never got bored and wanted to know how fast he would go. And he said, well, come on, let's go. So he went out and Warner talked about it for years after that. They just went down to US 42 and he didn't know how fast. He said they were going really, really fast. But he said the thing you got to remember is when you go into those turns, you got to gear it up. You got to go faster because the centrifugal force will bring you around the curve. I asked him one time how he was doing. He said, he says at 210 it's going okay. At 2 and 11 there's a little bit of a rumble. And that's horses.